In today's world, we're living in a place where we're trying to embrace diversity, creativity, and uniqueness, and also value each other's uniqueness. But I'm seeing this problem just keep raising its head, and I'm wondering why it becomes such an issue. So what I want to talk about today is basically Afro art and the reason why Afro fan art is not blackwashing characters or race bending characters. As always, you know the drill. This is literally just my opinion and my thoughts on the topic. You can agree to disagree, drop a comment below. Love to have a discussion with you guys about it. If not, if you don't like it, that's okay as well. Feel free to scroll through or not watch the video. That's great. I just wanted to share my views on it as a black artist and as someone who does draw a lot of Afro characters, some of them being fan art. So you'll see in this video I'm actually drawing an Afro version of Princess Peach. I actually did a digital version of my Afro Princess Peach ages ago. I just wanted to see what it was like to do it by hand, to illustrate it by hand, because right now I'm in a, I don't know, hand illustration kind of mood recently. So I want to try everything by hand and see if I can improve it or if I can make it look any better than I did before. So yeah, that's just a little bit of context behind why I'm drawing it or illustrating it again. So I've been thinking about this topic for a while because I'm seeing it come up on my feed a lot, and to be quite honest with you, I was a bit concerned about whether I should address this or not, or just leave it. But the more I was seeing comments and the more I was seeing different opinions, I thought, you know what, let me actually put my opinion in as well. So on the screen, you're probably going to see in a couple of seconds, I'm going to just throw up a couple of definitions relating to the topic and what I'm talking about. Feel free to pause, look at it, reference it, because I will be probably referencing this throughout the video, and I'm sure you guys don't want to sit here and just listen to me reel off a bunch of definitions. However, there are some definitions that I'm going to focus on just so I can make my point very clear and from what I understand. So if we're talking about race bending, what we understand it as, if we just search it in Google, it's literally race bending is the act of playing a role of or casting someone in the same role of a character of different race or ethnicity. Then blackwashing, yet again, if we just search it in Google, is replacing a traditionally white character or a role with a black actor. So that is basically replacing a traditionally white character or role with a black actor, and this is also known as colorblind casting. Sometimes people think that this kind of approach can provide a blank slate for audiences to attribute negative stereotypes to the character, but then others think that blackwashing is a stepping stone in a better direction to black representation. The definition actually highlights the representation in Hollywood. This is my thing. Art is an expression of self and people's individual experiences. So therefore, in my head, art will be different and will be expressed differently by the individual based on their experiences and perception of the world. However, if we're looking at fan art specifically, fan art is defined as an unofficial drawing or other renderings of famous characters which pushes boundaries. If we look at Merriam-Webster's definition, yet again, you can go back to the slides, it says fan art isn't about rules, it's about expressing yourself. So with that said, any art that we create based on existing characters, especially fictional characters, can be deemed as fan art because we're not the original creators of that art. We're not the original creators of that character. So it's about us just expressing ourselves, and ourselves could be our perception of that character or what we would like to see that character as or what we imagine that character as. It doesn't have to be set in stone, but it is an expression of what we desire or what we would like to see, and therefore we create it as artists. Now, if we go to the actual definition of art itself, art is defined as the expression or application of the human creative skill and imagination, typically in visual forms. It's also defined as various branches of creative activities such as painting, music, literature, dance, and obviously the traditional ways of art, as in drawing. So this would be my argument. Afro art is not blackwashing, or Afro fan art specifically, is not blackwashing characters. It is an expression that some black artists use to reimagine a character in a certain way. It's not official. A lot of the fan art that's created is not official. It's not an official standard for the character. And one thing I wanted to highlight as well in this context is that art, if it is defined by different branches of creative activity, including literature, that means we could actually look at the literature expression of fan art, or not fan art, but let's say just fandom. So we talk about fan fiction, for instance, fan fiction. None of it is canon to the actual real characters or storyline, but it is a alternative way of imagining a character. We see fan art, for instance, I've seen fan art about different characters, about like supernatural characters, the TV show Supernatural, if you're old enough to know what that show is. But I've seen fan art of based on supernatural characters, and it wouldn't really line up with the actual storyline of Supernatural. It's not part of the canon, but it is a fan fiction, so it's an expression. So my argument would be, why can't we have fan art or see art, especially African or Afro fan art, in the same light? That's what I'm urging, and that's how I see it. I see Afro fan art, and this is Afro art that is representative of commonly known characters, as a form of expression. It's not official, but it is different. Now, we could get into the arguments about, especially most recent characters being blackwashed in Hollywood, and changing, or race bending. Let's just say race bending. We could get into the issues and implications of race bending in Hollywood, and that's where I actually make the distinction. I don't think it's necessarily wrong, but I don't think it's a great approach to increasing diversity. I do think that we should create more black characters, and we should maybe, like as in Hollywood media, should invest more time into creating more black characters for the screen, for media, for people, for audiences. I don't think that this approach to race bending characters, I don't think it's very helpful, because as I said, there needs to be a space where people are putting in the effort to create more diverse characters, to create more diverse characters on screen and on TV that the audience can engage with. Case in point, the new Fairly Odd Parents, for instance, the new storyline, they didn't replace Timmy, but they created a new storyline with a new character, Hazel, who is a black girl, a little black girl, and that is creating a new space for there to be more black characters on TV. The same way with Princess and the Frog, they created a new black Disney princess. It's not replacing another princess or race bending another princess. So I think this is my argument. You can disagree with me here probably. I think when it comes to official characters, especially in Hollywood, and you're making it official, while it's creative, it is very creative to change or race bend certain characters. I don't think we should be relying so heavily on that approach to increase diversity. I think there should be more effort in creating diverse characters, have people work on diverse characters, and we are seeing it. We're seeing in newer like Disney and Pixar films where they're doing that kind of stuff, but it needs to spread across. It doesn't just need to be in Disney, it needs to be in different areas. It needs to be different areas, just like even in comic books and everything else. Additionally, I think things like race bending and blackwashing is not appropriate, especially if you're applying it, not that it has been applied to my knowledge, but especially if you're applying it to historical figures as well. That's where I disagree. I do not think any kind of race bending is appropriate when you're applying it to his representation of historical figures in history. It's not okay. That's my view. It's not going to be okay. It never will be okay, because it's not an accurate reflection of what's happened, of real life events. Most of the things with fan art, as I said, these are usually based on fictional characters. First of all, it's an unofficial way of expressing the character in a different light, and I think that's the difference. So I think it's the context in which blackwashing or race bending is used which makes it okay or not okay. But that's my view. I understand everybody has different views. That's my view. The last thing I just want to highlight is that we're artists, or if you're watching this, I'm guessing you like some form of creative media or art, and we dream differently, we view things differently, we experience differently. And I feel like in this society, especially in the day we're living in, especially in the day and age that we're living in, we should be really a bit more open-minded. I think we should be more open-minded, and we should also be able to understand that not everything is for you. Not everything that you want to consume is for you. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's okay. But I don't think it's okay to always attack people who want to have make Afro fan art, or not saying that my audience does or the people that are watching this do, but from what I've seen from other comments on different platforms from different people on different feeds, it's not okay to attack everyone based on because the thing that you're seeing doesn't agree with what that you value, especially if it's not directly hurting you or putting down another race, putting down another group or anything else. If it's just an expression, then chalk it up to that. It's a creative expression. But anyway, that's my view. basically, Afro fan art, I'm cool with it. I think it's cool. I think as long as it's not being used to replace anything officially on characters that aren't like that, then fair enough. And I do think that most creative heads in this industry, or in the creative industry, they really need to put in more effort to create more diverse characters. And though we are seeing that right now, there still needs to be greater effort, and that is why it's so important to hire diverse groups of people in these industries so we can get that. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. It was a really quick one, or I hope it is a really quick one, but I hope you liked this video. Let me know what you think. Agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in a bit. Bye.